How do you guys feel with me wearing glasses? It's really my thing, but is okay? All right.
Tegenover mij zit Alex, artistic project director, visual artist en entrepreneur, maar vooral meester van de vreugde. En als ik hem voor de opname vraag naar de taal van ons gesprek, zegt hij: als ik vanuit mijn flow praat, then it will be in English. En ik vraag hem wat voor hem de essentie is van ons mens zijn.
I think because this is a question that really goes into like, okay, what is the meaning of life, right? Like, what is the zin van het leven? And you can go on like that. I think existence is in itself. It's a full circle.
Mijn naam is Ebe. Ik ben theatermaker, schrijver en uitvoerend artiest. En momenteel zit ik in de keuken van het huis waar ik woon, aan de tafel waar ik dagelijks eet. Maar vandaag, lichtjes uit de toon in de huiselijke sfeer, hangt er een microfoon voor mijn neus. En zit de vijfde gast van de podcast tegenover mij. Onze soundingenieur en cameraman doen hun best op te gaan in het decor, zodat wij een echt en persoonlijk gesprek kunnen hebben. Want dat lijkt de enige juiste manier om de zoektocht, de vraag naar ons mens zijn, te benaderen. Persoonlijk, in dialoog, in de verhalen. Dit is Mensme.
It's a subjective approach to it now when I say I believe that existence is something that the moment you start to define it, you have lost it. Because then you are now defining it based on your reference points or the things you have learned, and you start to create facts in your mind, and that's okay.
Als in dat, doordat we als mensen altijd uit onze eigen bril kijken en altijd met de beperking van onze eigen bril, dat we die essence of existence nooit zijn echte waarde kunnen toekennen.
Klopt. There's a say that goes, the one who knows the Tao does not know the Tao. The one who does not know the Tao knows the Tao. Which means the moment you start to explain life, you have lost it. Because you have given it a name, a definition, and that is a specific point of view. But the moment you say, no word, nothing, just vibration, that's life. And it does not have a language. It's something that we all have somehow felt and not know how to define it, because every day, linguistically, we're finding new ways to define experience. These are the new glasses we're putting on. But it doesn't mean it's really like we capture a moment and we define it. And that's okay. That's really, it's like making a movie from an idea. And the moment you make the movie from that idea, do not say that is the whole story. That is just a director's point of view. And we live in life with so many directors' point of view. And then we get lost and forget that we once took something to define, and we now get lost in this life that we have defined ourselves and made it absolute. And then it's really, when you watch a horror movie and you get drawn into it, you forget you're in the theater room. That's how we are existing, I believe. And sometimes the times that you can understand that life is this game of ideas that we have defined, that's what life is when we're playing this game. The moment you can play the game, but also remember that it is the game of life, I believe that's where we can really feel joy. We can really have this play with life and really enjoy life You know, like I will catch myself crying or angry or sad or frustrated or very happy, you know, and I feel this emotion, but with doublethink. I know that this is me expressing myself with what I have learned in life. But in the total grand scheme of things, it's a game. So every emotion that I feel completely and very strongly. But I'm aware that I am the one in control and I feel it. So it's always, how genuine do I want to let it come to me? So I tell myself, and now I want to cry and I want to do it. And I cry and then I say, I'm bored. I want to do something else. But I can, you know, and really feel all the beautiful emotions of crying, or when I'm sad, I really go into it. I was like, and now I'm sad. I found myself sometimes, I would stand, you've been to my atelier, and I would stand in the middle and I would say, okay, this is sadness. Let me just stand here and take it in. And I find myself taking in sadness with a smile, because I see how beautiful the diversity of human emotion is. And then I can let it go when I want to. Ja.
Wat heeft je op dit punt gebracht? Dat je op die manier in die emoties kunt staan en in dat stukje, die acceptatie van mijn waarheid is mijn waarheid. And nothing more than that. It's just mijn waarheid. En dan is er nog een hele wereld aan prachtige diversiteit van andere waarheden.
Yes.
En ik heb de mijne. And it's beautiful and it's fine.
Yes. The thing is, I have experienced so many colors of life growing up, the ups, the downs, what we call ups and downs today. And then you can, personally, I think it's not, I think pain is something that is like, it's not something you can compare, you know. My bad day can be someone else's good day, you know. So I really, I don't say it in that point, but personally, I have been put in a place where I'm just like, wow, life, you know, in all your senses and your sensory system, you're like, wow, this is intense. And then you go, okay, but if I was able to go through that, and then I'm here laughing, that is the opposite of the emotion that I felt that time. You start to understand that life is like it never started, it never ended. And that point was the game of life that you were playing, and how were you able to take control of that moment, and how are you taking control of this moment, you know? So I don't really have my own truth, to be honest. I don't have a specific, if I may have a truth, is that there is, and I leave the definition out, which means I am very receptive to new point of views, knowing that it's not the only point of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's curious because I think I fully feel what you're saying. And then I'm wondering if we can escape within our human relations, if we can escape taking the responsibility for saying this is my truth. Because everything you're describing now, it's a way of living, it's a way of experiencing the world.
Correct.
And you, like, I can say this is your truth, and I might say my truth is completely different.
Correct.
We both know it's not so different, but just to make the comparison. So it's this interesting thing also, with this thing of truth, do we take responsibility for it, or do we just say it is what it is with me, and it doesn't have that much importance? Which is a bit what I hear you saying, like, I'm just not, this is how I experience the world, and I'm not deeply committed to it. It's just how I experience it right now.
When you say deeply committed, you know, it's really about this. I think we're going to dive into this idea of good, bad, right, wrong. Oh, when I take part of the drama called life, I really go for it. That is the double think. I know it's a drama. I know I'm stepping into the movie. I know I am the character of the play, but I'm also the audience. But when when I'm in the play, I make myself forget that I'm the audience so I can feel the full emotion. That's what I say when I'm going to cry. I really cry like a baby. Or when I'm happy like a child. You know, I make myself forget this is the game of life. So I can feel it completely, 110%. Right? And when I need to step out of the movie, step out of the play, I can still do that right on the spot. And I'm not saying this is the universal truth. I'm saying this is kind of like a way for me that I've created to play in life, you know, and to be the audience to the movie that I am acting in.
Ja, en het is mooi als ik u hoor zeggen, the game of life. Ik heb vaak mensen die term al horen gebruiken in de context van so you gotta play dirty almost. So we gotta take advantage of other people. Like it's a game. Like you need to play it. But when I hear you say it, it's about being playful.
Yes.
It's about joy. It's about laughter. It's about fully like childish in the best sense of the word.
Correct. Yes.
Fully experiencing everything.
Yes. And that's why I think a lot of people's like, Alex, where did you learn? What book do you read? And, yes, I listen to podcasts of philosopher Ramdas, Anuwas, Krishnamurti. But my greatest teachers in life are kids. Because when a child is crying or sad, we tend to have a very playful manner with them. They lost their candy, they come back home crying. You know, we don't create this huge drama around it, you know? But why is it that when we grow older and we see, it's like when you see an adult crying, now it's serious. The tension is high. But when a child is crying, you could have a full conversation with a child crying in the background. And you will not, you know what I mean? It's really, because also children are very honest with their emotions. And when I talk about this game of life, you can see a child crying 1 minute and laughing the next second. That simplicity I have learned from them. To say, yes, now I am sad and now I am happy because someone gave me a colorful toy. And we go on with life. You know, and I was like, how can I think when I saw children doing this, and I always ask myself, how can I implement this in my life to create this form of simplicity? And it's not about not giving attention to your emotion, because if you see children cry, it's like the world is about to end as we know it, like, you know. And then the next minute, it's like they forgot that ever happened.
Yeah, they let go.
They let go just like that.
Yeah.
And why do we have lingering, unsolved or undissolved emotions all the time? I believe it comes from this idea of like how we grow older and to be stronger, and so you give like 5 minutes for yourself to, you know. That's why I tell you, when I feel an emotion, I want to go all the way with it. But I want to, you know, I have once seen a child crying, because I give theater classes, right, to children. This is for me like my boot camp, where I learn all the things I can learn about life. So they pay me to do these theater classes, but actually I am being schooled. You know what I mean? So I learn things I can never learn anywhere. Just being around them, chatting it up with them, and going into this senseless way of just chatting. Anything is okay. We're experimenting, you know. And the things that I have learned from them is just, I tell you, I get this goosebumps, you know, when I think about it. And the child is crying, wailing, and then looking at me. I'm going to take off my glasses. The child is looking at me and starts to laugh, mid wailing, mid laughing, like mid crying, starts to laugh. I remember I sat down with that moment for a week to understand how I can adopt this. That's a child that goes from very frustrated, angry, and then crying, and then makes eye contact with me and starts laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, how can I play in life like this?
Yeah.
And the more I contemplated about it, the more I started to understand a lot of things in life, you know?
Ja, en ik denk dat heel veel mensen herkennen wat dat je nu vertelt. En ik heb het gevoel waar dat heel veel volwassenen, om die term te gebruiken, die playfulness verliezen, is het moment dat ze het gevoel beginnen hebben dat ze verantwoordelijkheid hebben. Concreet over kinderen. En dat zij dan niet meer zo, wat dat wij vaak in het Westen ervaren als wispelturig of niet betrouwbaar. Het feit dat je van de ene emotie in de andere kunt vallen.
Right.
En ik ben wel benieuwd, want jij werkt juist veel met jongeren en met kinderen en hebt in die zin een grote verantwoordelijkheid over een groot netwerk van mensen die rekenen op u en het werk dat je levert. Hoe dat je die twee vereenzelvigt. Hoe zorg je dat je een leiderfiguur kunt zijn die space kan houden en tegelijkertijd toch ook zo vrij zijn in die emoties.
Correct. It's where I start from. It's my starting point. My starting point has always been, if you hear the message in the DNA of the community is choice, because that's my core. And I don't think it's the best core. I think it's a core as someone who's founded the community. So when you ask members of the community, of X-ray community, and then they would tell you, I can be myself, be there when I want, leave when I want, take my time, my speed. Because the founder, myself, I operate the same. And I tell them I do this not because I want to do good. I have fun. I have fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy being here with you guys on Saturdays or on Sunday. And people say, yeah, but Alex, you don't rest. I said, do you believe if I tell you that I am resting right now? You know, because I think we have a standard definition of what resting is, taking time off. Me sitting down with them at the atelier, chatting it up, learning from them, seeing what I can share. That's my time off. And I said, guys, I would not have done this from the intention of, okay, now I'm going to do something good in life. Because I don't honestly believe for that to be my starting point. I always ask myself, do you like this? Do you enjoy it? Free from good and bad. Let me start with myself. Because I know if I do it from this internal enjoyment, I'm going to do it restlessly. I'm going to be very relentless and I'm going to be tireless. And I'm going to be genuine and honest to myself. And that has made it easy. We're now more than 150 members and I still don't feel overworked because I'm operating from a point of enjoyment and also just practically, it's like this base that we have created for ourselves where we don't have this sense of pressure to produce anything. The only pressure that we may feel are the ones we take upon ourselves because we enjoy that pressure.
Yeah.
We say now we want to make a theater piece together, or now we want to do a closet sale, or now we want to participate in that event. And if you watch the community, the group, or also the Instagram, how we chat with each other, it's just questions. Who wants to go to this open call? Who wants to do this with me? Who wants to go to that event? Not, you have to come here. This is good for you. Or you should be doing that. You were looking for opportunities. Now here's opportunity. You should do that. That's a language that is not existent in our communication with each other. It's always, we put a poll in the WhatsApp group and whoever is interested votes. And we go with that. You know, so people, I think I want to, and that's why I give everybody the choice. You don't have to operate the way I see things, but I want to give you the choice. I want to just propose it.
Yeah.
And within the community, I want us to learn, if I may have any kind of message, it's like I want people to see how beautiful it is when you choose to do something free from the obligation, the external obligation you think that there is. and you ask yourself, I am gonna do it. And then you go for it. And then it becomes from a point of enjoyment. And everything you run across on the way is part of that enjoyment.
Yeah.
Is it sadness? Is it frustration? You chose. So it's always like, Alex, how do you keep on doing this? I chose it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was never a point where I felt like I wasn't doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every sleepless night or every running back and forth I had to do, I did it with so much joy and smile. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I burst into laughter,
Mm-hmm.
just saying, look at the exciting life you have chosen for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's really that. And that's when fatigue becomes part of the play. Sadness becomes part of the play, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, I love that.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful, because in the way you talk about all these projects and all this life, you can feel that in a lot of places you have been able to respect the fullness of things. And what I mean by that is that freedom and commitment are one thing. And when we talk about joy, it reminds me of this story. It's this story of a man who one day decides to go and meet death. He has heard that death lives in a cave somewhere in the mountains, and he starts on this long walk, and he's thinking about why he wants to meet death. And when he is at the entrance of the cave, he realizes that he wants to give himself to death, that it feels like the only thing that's left to do. So he enters the cave and he sees this big image of a man on the wall, and he says to death, "Here I am, you can take me." And death starts to laugh. And he's like, "You can take me, I'm here."
Yeah.
And death just smiles at him and says, "What's there to take?" And the man sits down, and next to this big image of a man, of death, a second image appears, and it's joy. And joy says to the man, "You haven't lived me yet. If you haven't lived me, there's nothing for death to take. You mean nothing to death. You first have to live the joy." And this is what I hear you saying, like joy and death. It's this ball of life.
Yes.
It only
Yes,
gets meaning when you live joy.
Yes, I think we've been able to, when you know the yin and yang constellation, and also the philosophy behind it, and the thought pattern behind it, is we have been able to separate, and it's beautiful how we do that. We've been able to separate the dark side of the mountain from the white, the light, the lit up side of the mountain, as if it is two different mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow we know that the head of a coin is the same as the tail, but we don't like that.
Apparently, yeah.
We don't like that. We like to think of the head as separate from the tail.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say, if you take away the head of the coin, don't you also take away the tail of the coin? Because every time you take away the head, you get closer to the tail, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you take away completely the head of the coin, the tail is gone as well.
Yeah.
But we have been able to succeed in creating this drama. And that's why I love about life. That's why I think I don't hold any kind of way of living. Because we are. There is no definition to it, When we start to define it is when we start to differentiate heads and tail. And we do that to create this cosmic drama. There's this story that goes, the universe plays a trick on itself because we are the aperture of which the universe used to look at itself. We are the entirety of what we call universe. But we separate just to, see each other. We have to build. It's like this feeling when you need to look at yourself, you go to look at a mirror, and then there's a second person, there's a personage you've created in the mirror, so you can see yourself. That's what the universe does. It creates this split just for that there should be drama, because otherwise there will be no drama if there is no contrast, right? So it's this the universe plays a trick at itself. It tells itself, first it splits itself in two. And it says, go out of the room. I'll wait behind the door, right? And when you walk in, I'm going to go, boo. And then we're going to have a good laugh, right? And then I'm going to send you out again. And then I'm going to forget we ever did that, just so we can have fun doing it again. And who does that in life today? Kids. Kids can play a game that you think is so menial and it should just last once, but they make it work for more than 20 turns and you still think, how are they still playing it? Right? That's what the universe does. And that's why kids are the closest to reality as we know it. We are reality. So when we take shape as babies and as kids, we still have a very direct link to it. And then we start to learn we start to get new glasses from, existence that has already created an idea for themselves. And we start to adopt ideas and we start to detach from the source just to have drama, right? I have watched, because I give a theater class in a room, empty room, almost no hiding space. So that was during the break, and then the kids go, can we play hide and seek? I say, where? They said, here. Like, with an attitude, like, we have the game covered. You just have to say yes. So I go, I was so excited because I was just like, I want to see how they're going to make this work. So they start taking out clothes from their bag. They start hiding in spots where they could almost see each other. They saw each other, but they just put themselves, that's the double think. They were so much in the game that, you cover yourself with a blanket. I make it a game to look for you. I see you. I, as an adult in that room, I was like, I see you, see her, but now you're looking around to find her. You know what I mean?
It's a commitment to the joy
It's
and
the
not
commitment
to the game.
Yes, because we become practical the older we grow up, and we start to but this is not practical. We can't hide here.
I can see you.
Yeah, I can see you. Why even play the game at all? And that's where you lose the fun.
Yeah.
But they play the game. They hide in the curtain, and I can see their body silhouette in the curtain. Like I would have found them in 2 seconds. But it took them a minute. They walked around, they passed by this one who's covered up with a curtain, and then they go, you can't see me. And it still goes ahead. And after a while, they all found each other.
Yeah.
And then they go, Meester, kunnen we dat nog eens spelen? I said, where would you hide now? Like, I was like, how can you make this more interesting? And I tell you, that game went on for 7 turns.
Yeah.
And I went home. I was schooled at that day. I was very schooled. It took me weeks to decode what happened there. And then I said, how can I implement this in life? Because I believe we are in a state where we're so quick, we're so practical, and we hebben alles al gezien. En ja, we moeten voort. What's going to happen to progress? You see, you sit around with kids and they make the feeling adults have when they buy a house or buy a car, they make it from scraps in the garden. That same feeling, they can cultivate that with the menial and the most littlest things. And I say, this is my sensei. This is where I learn. So in August, I have boot camp. I have 2 weeks with them. And I can't wait for what they're going to teach me about life. You know what I mean? So if I've been able to answer your question, it's really that. There is a simplicity that I've learned from the interaction amongst kids that makes this way of life that I've adopted right now very easy. Because I've seen it in example, I've seen it in play, I've seen it work, and I'm just very excited to what I'm gonna learn next.
Beautiful. Yeah. En waar in je eigen verhaal, in je eigen levensloop, wat zijn de momenten geweest dat die diepe commitment to joy belangrijk zijn geworden? Wat zijn de momenten dat je bent beginnen realiseren van dit is wat ik nodig heb om alles te kunnen gaan doen wat ik doe?
I believe, I think if I take you back when I was in Nigeria, and I'm someone, I think somewhere, somehow, I can imagine, and when I imagine things, they are almost happening. So that's why I start to find joy in this imagination. And I also have a relentless amount of energy to make the imagination reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've always found joy in that. And I think that is something that I am very happy, because I think it really balances with my ambition and my needs to play this game called life, right? In the most difficult moments when I was growing up as a child, I've always relied on my imagination, where I imagine a world where all of this is part of the bigger play.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it's not to be the only play. And that made it easy for me to go through all this most difficult things that I've experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you zoom out. I've always loved this, the helicopter view. You know, when you take a plane and you leave what we call reality, and now you're just watching it. You know, all these things you take very seriously. The skyscraper, you thought it was very huge, is like a dot. You just see the flickering light.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always find myself imagining how many people are taking their life so seriously right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for them, this is it. This is very serious. That's the drama.
Mm-hmm.
They're lost in it, and that's okay. And like, there are hundreds of probably in that big skyscraper that I'm looking at right now. They're so small from this point of view.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone crying. There's someone fighting with another person. There's a breakup happening. I start to imagine all the drama of life happening. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. And then I tell myself, I want to imagine that when the plane lands, not when I'm up there. So I take that point of view, and I get to the airport, and I look at this huge building, and I see it all happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this. And I've always done that as a child.
And I'm curious, because I think when I go back to one of the most difficult moments in my life, I remember this feeling of my body dropping down to the floor and my spirit go, and all of a sudden I see myself laying there. But for me, it was a powerful tool in the moment to be able to not fully disappear, in a sense.
Yeah.
But it was also something I afterwards had to do a lot of work to embody the experience.
Yeah.
Because going like this and having this overview, it's also a way to protect your spirit. Because what the body is feeling, it might just be too difficult at the moment.
You're correct. But
and then in a safer moment, you have to like bring them back together.
Yes. But that's what I tell you about being the actor, being the player of the play, and being the audience. When you said that, when you left your body, you became an audience. What happens when you watch a horror movie and it's too much for you to handle? What do? You look away. That's that. And then you remember you're an audience to this. Don't take it too seriously. In 2 hours, it's going to be over. Or some people turn on the light.
But I think with a horror movie, it's true. But then but maybe it's just different for us. But for me in life, I'm not an audience. I'm living it. I'm living my body. So that moment of going into I'm an audience, it's a protection mechanism that can be important. But it's always a wound that I leave that afterwards and I have to tend to.
Yes. But when you speak of a protection mechanism, I believe it's a linguistic thing, right? That we say, yeah, we have to protect. But it's like, where is the end goal? Why are you protecting yourself? And why did you create a protection mechanism? And then it's going to pose the final question. Is existence necessary as we know it? The idea of existence, it's an idea. You know, if you go to Africa, existence takes a different meaning. You know, survival takes a different meaning, right? You go to China, it takes a different meaning. You know, in the Western world, it has a different meaning.
Yeah.
We have to survive. We have to reproduce. We have to. Well, that's wonderful. That's an idea. But when we make it a universal thing, that's when it becomes dangerous. And that's why in the world today. So I'm not negating when you say protect myself, because it is your mechanism, right? I think I'm very interested in diving into when we say, okay, protect, we have to survive, we have to be alive, we have to. And how we approach it sometimes, I think it's something that creates, and it's a drama. And I think I love when the world plays its drama out, right? But I think when people say, I want to have less stress in life, then the moment you let go of the fear of death, then you can have fun in life, right? That's the thing. But if I say that we want to survive so much that we are capable of doing, like committing atrocities for the purpose of survival, because we believe, yeah, but if I don't kill you, then you're going to kill me. So I kill you first, so you don't kill me. And that's the drama. That is what I tell you about splitting the heads and tail apart. I have to protect me from you because I forgot that you are me. Because if I realize that you are me, then I don't have to protect myself from you, and that there will be no drama. But the universe needs drama. Otherwise, nothing. That means if you don't create a drama, then there is no definition. If you don't create black, then the opposite never existed.
Yeah.
And that's why, and this is the drama. And I tell people, let's play a game, all right? Before you hit somebody because they annoyed you, imagine them to be you, like complete, like an extension of who you are. See how that makes you feel approaching that emotion or going to that action. See if it would not create a sort of comedy. When, you know, I play this game a lot, and then whenever I have this, I want to have interaction with someone, and I was like, okay, Alex, imagine that you're talking to yourself. I find myself to have this, like it's very deep-rooted appreciation for someone. Because it's like, I am him, I am you, I am her. There's a different kind of approach that I have now with people. Because it's just like we are all it.
Yeah.
We have just succeeded because that's what the universe did. That's the game I told you about. We've succeeded in forgetting that we have once splitted ourselves, sent ourselves outside of the room, and then waiting for each other to come in and go boom, so we can have a laugh. That's the war. That's the fighting. That's this. That's that. And someone asked me, Alex, what do you think is the solution to peace and end of racism and this? And I said, honey, we like the drama. Somehow we fight it just long enough to say we're contesting the drama, but somehow we keep it alive just enough so the drama continues. The only way, and I tell you, it's a paradox, the only way for us to end war and all of this is to look at each other and say, I am you.
And can you
and
feel
you are me, that?
Yeah. And I think, like, I fully agree, and I fully can feel that, and I think I try to live it often. And exactly what you're saying, I can feel myself fail as well. I can feel myself keep the drama alive.
Yes.
The moments that you feel yourself do that, can you describe to me then what's happening within you? Why do you tend to sometimes keep it alive?
Yes. I believe I will catch myself getting very angry. Like, and then when I tell you I do the double think and I let myself get angry.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, I really carry this idea of heads and tail are two different things. Like that person, I don't really like that person. I really go for it. And then I remember I am going for it. And I say, Alex, go for it. Really see the deepest extent of how much you don't like this person.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get to the part where I get bored, then I come back and say, yeah, but we're the same.
Mm-hmm.
And like I tell you, somehow we keep that drama alive. We are a universe.
Mm-hmm.
So we uncontrollably do that. And it's necessary to compartmentalize things. Otherwise, everything is everything and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to start saying, okay, this is a cup, this is that, but it's all one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with that. It's all one thing. And then, okay. And then you say, Ebe Meynckens, humans.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start to cut them in. So because we're not just going to be satisfied that we're all human beings. No.
It would be too easy.
It would just be too boring. Yeah. There is no drama there. So how beautiful would it be for me to say, okay, I look at myself, I look at you. All right. We know we're all human beings, but let's start to see our differences, guys. Let's find reasons for drama. I am dark colored. That's good. You are not. Okay, that's our differences. Let's split the heads and tail. These are two different things. And we do that. And that's why we have the subdivisions of human race.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid, and you name it. And we just have all of these placed. And again, I tell you, that is the movie. That is the drama we've created.
Mm-hmm.
And then we forget that we're human beings. And then we ask you, who are you? Where are you from? What is your race?
Yeah.
Like you are not a human being, right? Until you tell me, you answer to me all of these things. So, and then we call that identity, which is like the name card you get, or like, your description. That's what makes you part, that's what makes you exist. Not because you're a human being, because you are from Belgium and you're Caucasoid and you are from this Western region and this. Yeah. That's you. That's Ebe. That's you.
Where in reality, if you live this deep truth, then when you meet somebody new, you already know everything you need to know. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I say, yes, we created that because we found the necessity in creating the subdivisions for the drama. Mm-hmm. And here's the game. When I say, yes, I am brown and you're light, you're lighter colored than I am, I will remember that. Mm-hmm. But I will also remember we're human beings. Mm-hmm. That's the audience. You have to step out of your identity to see that we're all humans.
And this is because now you made this bridge. I realized that before, when you were talking about audience, I saw it as escaping from reality. No. And now I hear you saying it's stepping into reality.
It really is. Yeah. It's really getting into reality, getting to the simplistic, like the most simplistic form of things. Mm-hmm. Kids have that. We teach them to get out of that and join us in our lunacy. Mm-hmm. Because, you got to go to school, you got to go to this and this, that's all needed, you got to get a job. We invented the idea of getting a job. Mm-hmm. We invented school. We did that, and that is good. But somehow we forgot that we invented it, and we approach these things like it has always been like this. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the drama. That's the universe saying, I'll forget we had a laugh so we can do it again. We like to forget. things last long enough, we think it's always been like this.
Yeah.
When you go to a place, and some people have this, and I also I train myself not to have it, or to remember that how I came in the room. When you enter a place and you're nervous, and then you get comfortable, and you start to develop this arrogance you never had in the beginning. That's forgetting. And then for some reason, that you'll wake up and you think you've always felt like this.
Yeah.
What I do is I turn the wheel around and I say, Alex, remember how anxious you were when you sat in front of your boss, the first day, and how humble you were. Keep that. That's what got you here. That is, if I may put any kind of definition on who's the best version of yourself, I think what people call the worst version of themselves is the best version of themselves. Because, and you know how people, I speak to a lot of people and they bash a lot on who they used to be. And they're like, I'm a better person now. And I said, who should I be grateful for? And they're like, I did the job. I went, I had a routine. I created discipline. I said, who created discipline? This you or that you? Who went through all of that?
Yeah.
This you or that you? That's me turning the wheel around and saying, that you got you here. So I would show so much appreciation for that version, because it did all the work. It carried all the heavy load to get you to where you are today. And that is what I mean with turning the wheel around, not forgetting. I said, let's play that game. But we love to forget. It's really, because otherwise the drama would not be very exciting.
Yeah.
So we forget, and then we're like, oh, I'm comfortable now. And then when something goes bloop, and that's the surprise of universe. You get that surprise feeling because you were not expecting it, but you should have expected it, because you've always known, but you made yourself forget to feel the full force. So that's what I'm trying to say is, all the worst things in life and all the best things in life, they're all the same. We've always known how things were going to turn out. We just forgot, so we can have an excitement and say, wow, wonderful. When you look at the grot van Plato, the Plato's cave, when he said, everything that we know today, we've always known. It's like the vanuit de achterwereld. Alles is vanuit de achterwereld. En alles heeft al bestaan in de achterwereld. We've always known. But somehow we come to reality and we forget the achterwereld. We forget this world where we came from. If we can split it in words, this is just metaphor. And then just so we can be surprised about things. That's the drama. That's the cosmic drama.
It's really beautiful, because when you talked about being anxious when entering the room, I felt myself that I really had to listen to what you were saying rather than the words you were saying, because I can feel my mind go in a very only using your head way. Anxious, it's just negative in how I use the language. Yes. And I can hear that you speak the same language, but you speak it differently.
Yeah.
And I have to find myself to go to a place where I listen to you, not based on what I know, but based on what we know. Yes. And all of a sudden I hear you say anxious, and I don't hear anxious how I know it. Yeah. I hear you say be aware, be humble.
Yes.
Within that one word.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think this art of being able also to listen, not just the words, but the attention behind it.
Yeah. I think everything, like language is the best conditioning tool we have created as human beings. I can condition how people think by the words I have them repeat. because every word you repeat carries a specific image. And if I can tie down a specific image to a word and have you repeat that word and see that image so many times, then you almost believe that it's always been like that. So I'm trying to, for myself, redefine, because I can't come up with a new language. I have to like have the whole city agree with me first. And that's too much work. So I can't be like, oh, let's not call this a table anymore. Let's call it a bullet or something. Let's call this a bullet. I have to have you agree with me, have everybody agree with me before I can even start. I have to have the whole country agree with me, and then have to have the linguistic professors add that to the dictionary.
Yeah.
That's too much work. But then I say, okay, how can I look at the way we perceive certain words today, and how can I say it but feel the emotion I want to feel? Because I don't have any other words for it right now.
Yeah.
You know? So when I say anxiety, I don't know how other people feel it, but I have a way that I feel it that is not something that's, you know, the general definition of something that puts you in a blocked state.
Yeah.
I can say it and think of a very funny image. I am now trying to recondition myself, rewrite certain codes, say words, but feel an emotion that is may or may not be the agreed upon emotion. I am angry. It's a game I constantly play games. It's just, I don't know if that's clear.
It's a game of life.
It's a game of life.
Yeah.
I have sat with myself and said words that, you know, conventionally will create a negative emotion. And then I say it, and immediately I make myself think about something I like, funny. And now I'm reconditioning myself, where it's not also about what you say, it's about what you hear. So when people who may yell slurs or angry words at me, I'm just saying a Teletubby happening when you say, Alex, you're crazy, you're stupid. I have now created a new visual representation of certain words. So I can smile at someone who is just very angry and wants to, I can say, thank you for sharing that. That must be a lot for you to let out with a smile. And I feel when I do that, I can really hear people. As a project director, it's something that I have made myself cultivate because I wanted to be in a space where I could hear everybody, free from my own definition. And every time we stop people in their tracks from speaking because we've already reacted before we hear them. You know what I mean? Like if you say, Alex, I'm very angry with what you did today, I immediately start to react because it's bringing up negative emotions.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like, yeah, but you know, it's not my fault. I did my best. And what happens when I do that? You start to tailor your words to my emotion. Okay, but maybe I shouldn't share that I wasn't happy that he came late, or I wasn't happy that he stole my bento box. I wanted to say all of this, but I'm not going to say it now because he's already defending himself with this. I'm just started. So you will hold back. And when I work with people, I want them to know that I am there fully to hear them. And I'm not going to use the cliche where say I don't judge them. I don't want to even go there. I think I want to go to a place of I want to hear you finish. I want to let you vomit. Let it out. Let it out because there's a space for you to just pour it. Right? Pour it down there, and then we can look together. Okay? So it's helped me a lot to really listen to people. And it's like, I'm not going to say without judgment, because that's also an idea that we've created to make ourselves feel safe and to say, okay, I'm going to listen to you without judgment. Your brain does that.
Yeah.
You want it or not. But how can you tell yourself and to say, I just want to let this person finish. Park your values aside. And I want to be able to, I think I told myself when I was in London, I want to be able to hear someone say, yeah, you know, I'm so angry sometimes that I could stab somebody. I want to let them say it and not go into this state of, oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to say, tell me more about that. Why do you feel that that is something you want to do? But not like, oh, I have to help this person into a specific direction. No, I want you to continue in that direction. You're already feeling it. I want you to continue telling me things that are, because that's honesty.
Yeah, and it's also trusting that
Yes.
when we put everything on a table, nothing gets left behind in the dark. And
Exactly.
nothing can grow into these things we can't control.
Yes. So I want to be able to create room for people that I work with to put everything on the table. And then I'm going to start looking together with them. Which codes, which things do you want to keep and which things do you want to rewrite?
Yeah.
So I don't like to stop people in their tracks when they're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Because we think when we're silent, that's where we give people room to talk. No, when your face says it,
mm-hmm.
if you are using your values to listen, or you're listening for the sake of listening and hearing people out.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy fit. I feel like sometimes I'm really, okay, Alex, let this person talk.
Yeah.
It's not about you. They want to talk.
Mm.
And I don't need to find an excuse for something that they say I did not do enough, or they think I would have done better. I don't need to find an excuse.
Yeah.
I need to hear them, and I need to thank them for being honest. And I try to practice this every day.
Yeah.
And I believe right now I find enjoyment in everything that is being shared, because I don't start with, oh, please let it be positive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what if it's negative? What do I have to do to fix it? That stress is voided of me.
Mm-hmm.
I just hear, and then I say thank you. And then I create room for myself to ask, what can I do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it's not about the question of good and bad. It's about saying, what can we do together? How can we, continue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the big researches for me in creating the questions for the podcast was that I have a deep interest in how people think and feel the world. And then I also have a deep interest in how can we translate these things to how we experience it. Because I often find myself talking with very, very wise people, but not being able to leave this space where we talk about how we think about the things and how we feel the things. And this bridge to, and then the reality of daily life where we have to practice these things. And how can we have conversations that go further than like this, how we believe, how we see, and really go to, okay, but how do we now live these things? Yes. To bring an end to our beautiful conversation.
Yeah.
Give me some lines on how you experience it. How do you translate all this wisdom, this way of viewing the things, these belief systems in a way? How do you practice them?
This is, I'm going to be controversial when I say, remember everything and forget it at the same time. Take everything very serious, but take it as a play at the same time. It is, if I say it's a game, then I believe it can be adopted as like not serious enough. Oh, I take everything serious, and I take it as a game at the same time. That's the paradox of it. That's the heads and tail being the same thing. That's the creepy dark side of the mountain being the same thing as the side of the mountain with the sun on it. No is the same thing. You being very serious and being playful. It's the mountain is experiencing these two things at the same time, in the shadow and the light. Make that a very balanced coexistence, knowing at the end of the day, it's your perception. You know, it's your perception. You know, like, oh, that's the light side, that's the dark. It's your perception. You take that perception away, it's the mountain.
Yeah.
That is, it's really that. It's everything and nothing at the same time.
I love the idea, the feeling, because I can feel it.
Yeah.
Of just accepting fully that we're whole, which means that the moments we're doing this philosophical, this belief system work, because to me, having this kind of conversations, it's work. It's work that you're doing. It doesn't separate from daily life.
No, it doesn't. It's one and a whole thing. And I will tell you something is, I don't accept anything. It's just, you see, I don't have a word for it. Because the moment I accept something, I have taken specific grounds to something. I have planted my flag somewhere. I know that I am the entirety. I forget it just to go to work, drive my car, buy food, eat something, take the movie serious, take people serious. I forget it because I tell you, I take everything seriously. But the game is, I know that I am the star, the moon, the universe. I am Jupiter, I am Pluto, I am the next Milky Way. I know that, but I just forget it just to play the game of life. That's it.
Mensme is een tweedelig project. Naast de podcast reflecteren 3 schrijvers verder door op de afleveringen. Lees hun bedenkingen, inzichten en reflecties op mensme.be. Wil je reageren of zelf mee doorfilosoferen? Stuur dan een mailtje naar reageer@mensme.be of vind ons op Facebook en Instagram. Mensme werd mogelijk gemaakt door een fantastisch team. Mathias Dekens deed de audio en maakte samen met Nant van Loveren de muziek. Jonas verzorgde al het camerawerk. Justine Helleputte en Imke Reiniers deden de productie en nog zoveel meer. Aiko Annaert maakte de animatie. VZW Trill ondersteunde de conceptontwikkeling en gaf welkom advies. Concept en stem zijn van mij, Ebe Meynckens. De verhalen en de antwoorden zijn van de gasten en de schrijvers, die zich stuk voor stuk open en welwillend opstelden. Een enorme dank aan jullie allemaal om dit project samen op de wereld te zetten.